Hello everyone. For today, we will begin to learn about the easiest aspect of game design in my opinion, digital graphics for 2D games. You may use any graphics program you are comfortable with. While the industry standard is Photoshop for its wide variety of precise tools, it can be quite expensive, and so for this tutorial I am using the default Microsoft Paint program to illustrate the concepts. In this video, we will be creating PNG images using basic shape tools as building blocks. I chose PNGs because they are easy to create and aren't as blurry as JPEGs when we scale them up, although there is still some loss of quality. However, although vector images would solve this problem by being completely lossless, they are much more complicated to make and are not as widely supported, and so I will be saving them for later tutorials. You may be wondering, what the heck does he mean by basic shape tools? If you open up your graphics editing program, even if it is something like Windows Microsoft Paint or Paintbrush for the Mac, there should be a line tool, a circle tool, a rectangle tool, and a basic polygon tool, like so. And the polygon tool makes shapes by allowing you to drop and drag lines that will automatically cut together for you, whereas the other ones use preset shapes. That's the polygon tool, circle tool, rectangle tool, line tool. Each of these tools work by clicking on a point and then scaling the shape by holding down your mouse or left trackpad button as you move your cursor along the screen. The line tool will change directions depending on where your cursor is relative to the starting point, i.e., if you move up and left from the starting point, it will draw the line facing in that direction, like this. The rectangle and circle tools will scale according to where you move your cursor. So if you move it straight left, straight down, straight right, or straight up, it will look like a line. But if you move it diagonally, it will look like an actual shape. It is also important to note that you can hold down the Shift key to make a shape so that all sides are equal length. Note that this does not work with line or polygon tools. I don't know if every program supports it, but I do know that Microsoft Paint and Photoshop on both Mac and Windows does. Although the Shift key will not make lines of equal length on a line tool, because you can only make one line at a time, the Shift key will make the line go in straight 45-degree angles. Once the shape is created, it should have an outline color. On most programs, the outline color is normally black, but if you double-click on the box for that color in Photoshop, or click on Color 1 and then edit colors from Microsoft Paint, it will let you pick from the app's default palette. I'll explain how the color palette works in more detail later, but for now simply pick any two ones you like. Now that you have learned how to make basic shapes, I encourage you to experiment and create more advanced shapes by combining them together. You may have also noticed that with what I have taught you so far, your colors will be very flat even if your shapes themselves are elaborate. In next week's video, I will be going over the color palette, color tools such as the paint bucket and eyedropper, and gradients, which are commonly used in the era of Flash games.